Say you have a triangle like this one here, where you're trying to solve for an angle and you already have two sides given to you. In this example, you have x, which is the hypotenuse, and y, which is opposite, given to you. In order to do that, you need to do the opposite function, or which is called arc functions. So first we would set it up like a normal problem. Here we have the hypotenuse x and the opposite y. So we would do sine theta equals opposite y over the hypotenuse x. The opposite of sine isn't division. We wouldn't divide by sine on each side. Instead, we would do arc sine. So we would switch theta and with the fraction on the other side, and it would end up being sine y over x equals theta. But that's not all. The arc sine, in order to get arc sine, we would have to put -1, and that's how it looks on the calculator. And you would put that in on the calculator, and you would get your answer. Say you have a problem like this one here, where you're looking for the angle and all you have are 9 and 6, which is the hypotenuse and the adjacent side. In order to solve this, you would use cosine because you have the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So cosine theta equals 6 over 9. So then you would use the inverse and you would switch theta and 6 over 9. So it would be cosine 6 over 9 equals theta. And it wouldn't just be that. You remember, you got to put the -1 next to it in order for the calculator to recognize it as arc cosine. And you would solve it from there using the calculator. The answer you would get would be theta equals 48.2 degrees. Okay, so here's a real life example. Imagine there's a contractor standing 57 feet away from a building, and he needs to know the exact height of the building. And he's looking up at the building at a 55-degree angle. We can use SOHCAHTOA to solve for the exact height of the building. First, we need to name each side. X, or the height of the building, is the opposite side. The length away from the building is the adjacent side, and the last side is the hypotenuse. So we have the adjacent and the opposite, so we would use tangent. So 55 tangent equals x over 57. So we'll put that into a proportion. So it would end up 57 times 55 tangent equals x. And then you would put that into your calculator and you'd get the answer. The answer is, after doing the math, x equals 81.4 feet. An interior designer who needs to find the exact length of each side of a triangular TV, but his ruler breaks after measuring one side. He could solve for the other two sides using trigonometry. First, we have to identify the sides. So that's opposite, that's adjacent, and this one's the hypotenuse. Next, we can solve for side y. We solve for side x, but I want to solve for side y first. So that's adjacent and hypotenuse, so it would be cosine. 60 cosine equals, adjacent is y, so y over 5, make that a proportion, and then you would cross multiply. 5 times 60 cosine equals y. And put that into your calculator and you should get 4.3 feet. So then we would solve for the other side. X is opposite and 5 feet is the hypotenuse, so that would be sine. So 60 sine equals opposite over hypotenuse, x over 5, make that a proportion. 5 times 60 sine equals x. And then solve that, make sure your calculator is in degrees, and you should get 2.5 feet. So that side would be 4.3 feet, and that side would be 2.5 feet.